We're taking this potential hoax very seriously, and Coast Guard Investigative Service has launched an active investigation to track down any leads. We're offering a $3,000 reward for any information assisting us to find the perpetrator of this hoax.
That was Captain Gregory Hitchin of the U.S. Coast Guard speaking earlier today, and we got Ted Mann of the Wall Street Journal, who was at that conference. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Simon Constable, and Ted, you were at that conference. What is this all about?
Well, yesterday afternoon, about 4:20, the Coast Guard got a distress call from someone claiming to be the captain of a vessel called the Blind Date. They said there were 21 people on board, that there'd been an explosion, the ship was sinking, they were all evacuating onto life rafts, and that some of them presumably had some very bad injuries. And the Coast Guard and a lot of other agencies reacted very quickly and went looking for these people and quickly discovered there was nobody out there.
And they also had rescue professionals lining the shore waiting, and we're looking at photos of that now, lining the shore, waiting for survivors, for maybe people who didn't survive but who were picked up and casualties.
There was a presumption of burn injuries in particular. There was supposed to have been a big fire on board, and when the helicopters that were sent out there to look for victims got to what they figured would be roughly the scene of the distress call, about 17 miles off the coast of New Jersey, they saw no debris, no oil slick, no sunken boat, and no life raft.
Do they have any idea where the distress call came from? Because presumably they got that in from somewhere. Is that giving them a lead to who made this hoax happen?
What the Coast Guard said this morning was that the distress call they were able to record on one of their antennas had lines of bearing that suggest it came from either southern New York or northern New Jersey. It came into an antenna in the Highlands area of New Jersey, and they're presuming right now that it was someone on shore making a call with a marine band radio.
Do they have any idea about what the motivation someone would have to do this?
That question was asked a lot of different ways, and the answer was the same each time this morning, and that was, this is someone looking for attention in a particularly dangerous way.
Now, and explain why it is dangerous to do this. It's about resources, right? It's
about resources. They mentioned that yesterday, while the search and rescue was going on off of New Jersey, there actually was another distress call. It turned out to be a false report of someone who'd fallen off a bridge. And all of the units that were out searching the sea 17 miles off the coast were nowhere near the right position to help out with another distress call. There's also the issue of different units being in the air, helicopters having to coordinate with each other and prevent another accident. So it's a pretty treacherous thing to go searching that far out into the sea, and when it's a giant waste of money and time, it's pretty frustrating.
A giant waste of money, a giant waste of time. It's dangerous to have two helicopters in the air at the same time,
right?
And they could have been used for a real emergency where it just didn't happen this time, but it could have been a real emergency and someone might have died because of this.
Absolutely.
Now, is this sort of thing a criminal act, or is it a civil act, or how does it play in? Presumably there's the money side, and then there's the wasting the Coast Guard's time side.
And the hoax could result in a felony charge. Certainly they've raised the possibility of significant criminal penalties. They also said that anyone who would be convicted in a case like this would also have to reimburse the government for all of the money that it wasted. And this happens a lot. There are about 60 such hoax calls a year, according to the Coast Guard, in this area. 60 a year.
Let's go through the timeline on this, and we're going to get the graphic on the screen in a moment to have a look at that. When this started, 4:20 p.m., 9/11 call reports explosion which we now think didn't happen. 5:15, rescuers rushed to the scene. 6:30, no sign of a wreck found, and 10 p.m. search suspended. So that's basically the best part of 6 hours of a lot of people's time, right?
Right, and the way the Coast Guard explained it today was they had people on what would have been the scene of the accident within about an hour, meaning helicopters from various agencies flying overhead, vessels out there, and then within an hour of searching, because the water was clear, the air was clear, they were pretty sure that there was nothing out there to find.